In today's video, I am going to give you a couple of quick-hitting basketball plays that will really help you score quicker in your next game. Now, let's just get down to it really quick, and I just want to let you know that you can't just have all quick-hitting plays. You need some plays that have some actual strategy behind them, but sometimes it's just nice to be able to get a quick basket, and every team needs one of these plays, or at least one of these plays. So let's get down, let's check these out really quickly. A lot of these plays are going to be out of the Horns offense, so if you would like, go check out my Horns basketball playbook that is down in the description below. Also, if you like the idea of me writing on top of the clipboard, you can go check out the link for the Playbook app down in the description below for 10% off. Now, this first play is very simple, and you're actually probably going to see at least a half a dozen, if not a ton of teams run it every single year. That is, you're going to have your post players in the high post. This is Horns. You're going to have player 5 and 4 set a screen on either side of player 1. Player 1 is going to then have the decision to go left or right using 5 or 4 as a screen. After they set those screens, and let's say, for example, player 1 goes towards his left side, player 5 is going to roll off of that screen, and player 4 is going to then pop for the three-point shot. This gives player 1 multiple options to be able to then score. Also, depending on what player 3's defender is doing, if he is popping down to protect that cut, then player 1 could pass over to player 3 for the three-point shot. What you're trying to do is to score right off the bat with one of these 3 players. Now, the nice thing with this play is it flows very easily into 5 out. Well, basically what will happen is player 2 lifts, player 5 then fills out, and at this time you are in the 5 out offense. Because player 1 was originally going in that left direction, you can go and then do a dribble handoff with player 3. Coming off of this dribble handoff, player 1 can roll, player 3 then dribbles up towards that wing, and he could then hit player 1 with that pass because he's now rolling off of that screen. Player 1 then fills out, and you can go into the 5-out offense. This is nice to be able to set up a 5-out offense if that is what you use with your team as well. That way you have the option to have that quick hitting play, and if that play just didn't work, you now go into 5-out, and you can run another play out of it, or you can run just a basic motion as well. And you can get my complete guide to the 5-out offense down in the description below as well. Another fantastic play that you can run as a quick hitter is what I call pin down. Basically, you're going to have pin down screens from players, actually player 5 should be up here. You're going to have pin down screens from players 5 and 4. They're going to set those screens, and player 3 and 2 are either going to pop up, or they're going to then cut into towards the basket, into the key. Now, this is all going to come down to what their defender is doing. So as an example, if player 3 was going underneath that screen, player 3 should pop for that three-point shot because he's created that gap between player 3 red and himself. Meanwhile, if player 2 was cutting up and he noticed that player 2 red was going over top of that screen, then player 2 blue needs to cut in because now that's a harder direction for him to go as he's just cutting around that screen, which means that now player 1 has the option for player 2 or the option for player 3. Hopefully, if player 3 gets it, that's a three-point shot, and hopefully if player 2 gets it, that's a layup. The other benefit to this is when player 2 and 3 are coming off of these screens, there may be a switch. If player 2 and 3 go up to the wing or the 45, then we would want to see player 4 and 5 roll towards the basket. The idea here is if the pass went into player 2, he could make that pass down to player 5. Or if there's a mismatch, as we see right here, then we can make that pass down to player 5 for that layup because there's not much of a defense or much of a player who is going to be contesting a tall center if it's a 5-on-2 screen. For those who don't know, 2 is a shooting guard and 5 is a center. So 13U, which is what I coach, player 5 would generally be at the level that I coach at, around 6'3", while player 2 would be probably in the range of 5'5". There's a massive height difference, and player 5 in the low post is going to have the advantage. Unless it's our guard who is 6'1" versus an average center at this age at 6'3", in which case 2 inches of difference is not massive, but that also comes down to the team that you're playing against. Horns dribble handoff is another fantastic play that you can run as well. We're going to have player 1 dribble out towards the left side. Just as an example, this can be ran on the right side as well. Player 4 is going to then set a pin down screen for player 3. Player 3 is going to come off of that screen. He's going to use player 1 as a screen, also as a dribble handoff. Now, player 3 is going to get that ball, and while this screen is being set, we're going to have player 5 set the off-ball screen for player 2. Again, player 2 has 2 options. He can cut towards the basket, or he can pop out towards that 3-point line. So he's got 2 options. Player 3 can either go and score, or he can pass to player 2, depending on what player 2 is doing. Player 2 cuts towards the rim. This pass goes to player 2. If this player goes towards the 45, then player 3 could pass to 2 for the 3, or he can drive right to the basket himself. He's got a lot of different options. If this doesn't work, and let's say it's cut off, well then again, we can go straight into the 5-out offense. It's a nice simple play that you can run. Now, a nice play that I really like to run starting off basically the start of the game, or the start of some possessions, maybe every 3 or 4 possessions, if we are all coming down at the same time, there's not much protecting the rim if we're going up against a zone defense. So if we're going up against a zone or a man-to-man defense, I want to see player 1 get a paint touch early. If he can't score, we're going to be set up into that 5-out, and we're going to be looking to try and kick that ball out. Maybe gather the attention of another player, kick that ball out. There may be help coming down, extra pass, and we can get that nice easy 3. So drive, kick, swing is a very important play that you can run right off the bat. And a fun play that I've seen many times in the past is a nice 3-point play for our point guard. We can have that pass over to player 2. Player 1 cuts, simple pass and cut. That's going to then move the defense over towards this side. When that happens, we're going to have player 3 set that screen over here. Player 4 set that screen on player 3. At this time, there's screens being set here. Player 2 is going to then dribble out towards this side. Obviously, if the pass was open for player 1 to score, hit him up. But if not, we are then going to have him pop out towards this corner. Everyone's going to be paying attention to player 2, and that's when we're going to hit player 1 with that pass, and we're going to then score that 3-point shot. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe. Make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense down in the description below. And check out my Horns basketball playbook that is down there as well. I'll see you guys again in my next video.